When the tsunami hit southeastern India in 2004, it tore houses from their foundations, shattered walls, and filled the streets with rubble.
These two houses also damaged.
I arrived in Tamil Nadu this spring. A young boy named Gautam gave me a tour of his village.
Is your house? Yeah. இங்க இருந்த எல்லாமே அப்படியே ஊரே வேஸ்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படியே.
ரொம்ப ஃபீல் பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருந்தோம். இனிமே வாழ்க்கையே கிடையாது. இந்த வள வரலாம் போயிடுச்சே. நம்ம இனிமே எப்படி வாழ போறோம் அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு நாங்க வரங்கிட்டு இருந்தோம் அப்பதான்.
Purani told me that in the months after the tsunami, relief poured in, medicine, food, and clothing. Then, as often happens with big disasters, the world's attention moved on. But for Purnima McCutcheon, an American-trained architect, this was only the beginning.
It was very devastating to hear about the tsunami when it happened. I was working for a for-profit company doing large commercial projects, hospitality design and shopping centers.
For 14 years, Purnima's career was on the traditional track. But after the tsunami, she picked up her life and moved to India to help.
It's always been sort of my aspiration to, at some point, work with the community and do something that was more personally meaningful.
Now, her clients are villagers and fishermen instead of big corporations. Her new job is to help them rebuild for the long term. To get started, she gathered the town and asked them to draw sketches of what they needed: a preschool, a bathroom, a place to hold celebrations and lead study groups. She took this long list and came up with a plan for a village hall that could meet all these needs. This idea, that a building can make a difference, is what her group, Architecture for Humanity, is all about. It all started with another crisis. 10 years ago, while watching television coverage of refugees in Kosovo, a young couple got an idea.
Their homes were in rubble and winter was coming, and Cameron, I think, rightly sort of looked at that and he said, I think this is an opportunity for architects to help.
We just said to ourselves, I bet that there's more than just us who care about these communities and want to use our creativity, want to use our skill set to make a difference.
Kate Storr and Cameron Sinclair launched a design competition for Kosovo and were stunned by the response. Their tiny apartment was soon overflowing with hundreds of design boards. New ideas for refugee housing poured in from all over the world. They included everything from recycled rubble houses to inflatable hemp tents.
Each of these photos represent projects we've done.
Since then, they've created a network of architects around the world. Their motto has become, design like you give a damn.
One aspect of our business is matchmaking. We're kind of like the dating service between humanitarian groups and communities and architectural designers.
It's about saying to the 5 billion people who are living in systemic poverty or in the margins that they have access to this enormous, creative, talented resource out there.
Architecture for Humanity's Purnima McCutcheon was the first trained architect to show up in this village in Tamil Nadu.
சமுதாய கூடம் ராதா மேடம் சொன்னாங்க, எந்த இடத்துலயும் எல்லா இடத்துலயும் நாங்க சமுதாயம் கூட கட்டி தந்திருக்கோம். ஆனா இந்த இடத்துல மட்டும் ஒரு சமுதாய கூடம் கூட கிடையாது.
Today, Purnima is presenting her designs for the new village hall with the help of a local social worker.
இந்த பாலோட டிசைன் தான் ஒவ்வொரு மாடல்ல வந்து போடுறாங்க. இந்த செட்டப் வென்டிலேஷன், அதாவது காத்தெல்லாம் ஃப்ரீயா உள்ள வரதுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டைல்ல வந்து ஓடு போடுறாங்க. பெரிய வராண்டாவும் இருக்கு அதற்கு. பெரிய வராண்டா பசங்க.
On the whole, they like the new sketches, but there's concern over a break in the wall where Purnima has added a sitting area.
இங்க வந்து கோயிலாண்ட உட்கார்ந்தால அவங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப புடிச்சிட்டு வந்து இங்க வந்து ரொம்ப ப்ராப்ளமான ஏரியா.
The meeting erupts into an argument over this part of the design. Purnima knows these little details can make a big difference, and it's back to the drawing board.
We can bring this wall even in, make that part of the children's area.
Okay.
We can just make it part of this veranda.
Okay.
And so this becomes more of a little gathering space inside.
Though she liked her original design, the benches moved.
Aesthetically, it was quite important to the building, and so now it's, I've already come up with some sort of an idea to express that wall because it's a special wall, but somehow incorporate it into the compound and sort of change the function. But it is hard, but you just have to listen, otherwise it becomes your building more than theirs.
With the community's seal of approval, the expressive curved walls of the new village hall start to take shape. Local workers are hired for the construction, generating income and a sense of ownership. The whole building will cost less than $6,000. Back in San Francisco, Architecture for Humanity raises funds and cuts through red tape so buildings like Purnima's can break ground. But Architecture for Humanity's real resource is the untapped creative energy of designers. They are eager to bring their idealism to the drafting table, turning waste materials like carpet tiles into walls. Thousands of designs are in an open-source library anyone in the developing world can access.
So this isn't about getting one solution for one client. It's about how do we get hundreds of really well-designed ideas into the hands of people who are looking for them.
This gives a sense of place, and this becomes...
Architecture for Humanities helped galvanize designers, many of whom are frustrated with the monotony of designing for corporate clients. Ever since Kosovo, they've held annual competitions to focus attention on overlooked corners of the world.
A shaded veranda around the...
Watching a community go through the design process, get involved, get excited, build something, and then invariably throw a party is so satisfying.
This year, the challenge is to build a youth media center in a Nairobi slum. The winning design included a soccer field, flexible public spaces, and an iconic radio tower at the front of the building. But most importantly, this building is designed to be environmentally sustainable. When your clients live on less than 50 cents a day, Cameron Sinclair says, being green is more than just a trendy option.
Everyone thinks sustainability. It's about putting a solar panel on a celebrity's house or buying a Prius. But for this community and for 90% of the world, it's a matter of survival. It's life or death.
This spring, Cameron came to Tamil Nadu to check in with Purnima, who's putting the finishing touches on another of her projects. For Cameron, the beauty of her designs is not just how it will serve the community, it's also the attention to detail.
The only thing is this wall is going to get painted inside and out, sort of mango color. So it won't just be, I mean, it's a little higher wall and it's sort of, you know,
And then
this kind of a
the punctures, the holes,
yeah,
I'm just going to leave those as...
Yes. And then we'll have bamboo trellis going between the two buildings.
Nice.
So this is kind of a very important part that hasn't happened yet, but I think it's going to look nice.
எல்லாருமே வெளியிலலாம் எங்க ஊர் இது உங்க ஊர் அது இது அந்த ஊர் இது தெரிந்தாத ஊர் அப்படி இது வந்து எடுத்துக்காட்டா இருக்கும் எங்க ஊர் பத்தி பெருமையா பேசுறதுக்காக ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டா இருக்கும்
வெளிநாட்டுல இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்
அதான் இந்த ஊருக்கு இது ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டா இருக்கும்
None of our buildings are the kind of glamorous front of magazine, kind of sexy structures. What they are these kind of very simple, dignified structures that have these kind of quiet moments of innovation.
Purnima completed this building just last year, and it's become the heart of village life. The solar power means low utility bills, and water catchment has inspired others to do the same in their own homes. At night, their parents take classes here, and when someone gets married, it is here that they gather.
And when those kids grow up and they become teenagers and parents themselves, they're going to look back on that building and say, my parents built this building. The community center where we get married in, my parents did that.
Tonight, there's a celebration. After 4 years, Purnima has built 12 community centers.
It's very rewarding when, you go through the process and at some point you start earning each other's respect, and I mean the relationship sort of deepens. It's very rewarding.
Purnima's work here is done. But around the world, a new wave of architects is just sitting down at the drafting table, looking to design a better future.